you guys.
Hello.
So today we are here to do what diabetes costs in a month. It is very requested, and Ethan had to make notes so that we don't forget anything. So we are going to tell you exactly what it costs. Obviously we have insurance, and after a certain point, our max is met. And so currently we are not paying anything for for Nevaeh's diabetes stuff because we hit our max. And that is the great thing about insurance, but we have paid a lot of money to hit that max.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead and...
Yeah, it all really depends on the health insurance plan. We had a couple options of either going with like a PPO, which we would pay, we'd get like 80% coverage right away, but you pay a higher premium every month for the plan through your employer. Or you can do like a high HSA plan where you put money into an HSA and so does the company. And
you get write-offs and like you get a write-off for putting money in there.
Yeah, it's a tax write-off. But also with the HSA plan, you have to meet your deductible before they start paying that 80% or 90% or whatever the plan allows. So that's what we chose to do because the premiums on the HSA plans are much lower. They're like less than half of what a PPO plan is. So this
might all sound like gibberish to some of you. So sorry, but we have to kind of explain it.
And we got schooled very quickly in understanding this, or at least I did when we were trying to figure out which plan to do. In the past, we've always just, you know, it's not been even a thought because everybody's healthy and let's just do the high HSA plan.
We've never, and before Nevaeh was diagnosed, which was a year and a half ago, we had not one sickness, we had maybe one hospital run for Austin, and he was like 4 at the time. But besides that, everybody had been really healthy. And the year that we decided to do the HSA, because it was, we thought it way cheaper monthly, Nevaeh gets diagnosed and is in the hospital for 4 days, and then we have all of this medical stuff. So that was, I think we had to pay that year $7.
$6,000
in just hospital
and out-of-pocket costs, because that was like the
deductible.
Yeah, well, you have a deductible and then you have an out-of-pocket max. And that was our out-of-pocket max. The deductible was like $3,000, and they started paying at 80%, and then after $6,000 they started paying at 100%, which 4
was
nights
great.
in the ICU adds up real dang quick.
She was in the ICU for 2 nights, and then the regular hospital for 2 days. But then it was nice because after that, everything was covered at 100%. So like we got her pump that year, we got everything we possibly could that year.
Her pump was like, the Medtronic pump that she originally started on was like $6,000 or $7,000. Had we not already had that deductible and out-of-pocket max, that would have been an out-of-pocket cost for us. But obviously we already paid that with the, but the nice thing, what you kind of have to calculate, and I'm maybe jumping ahead, but what you kind of have to calculate going into this year, I'm like, after last year, I'm like, we're going back to the PPO plan, we'll pay the higher premiums, everything will be covered at 80%. But when I sat down and actually calculated it out, we actually end up spending less out of pocket over the course of the full year with the high HSA plan. But what you have to do is you just have to prepare yourself. So if you know you have like a $2,000 or $3,000 deductible you have to meet first with the high HSA, you
have
set
to
that money
save
aside. So like at the end of the year, had some good commission months, and so we automatically put $2,000 into our HSA. So at the beginning of the year, we just paid that with the HSA, and then our deductible was met. And then they started covering. Right. Yeah.
So anyways, enough blabbing about that. This is our 30-day, just 30 days of diabetes out-of-pocket fee, just straight numbers.
Yeah, we're gonna pretend this is January.
Right, January 1.
Deductible hasn't been met, this is what we would pay out of pocket.
Right.
So for 30-day supply, first thing, most important thing is insulin. That's what obviously keeps our diabetes kids alive. Thank God it's not 1920 or before.
No.
But so for Humalog, for a 10 milliliter vial, which for us, everybody's different as far as their usage, but for
it depends on your insulin sensitivity. So she's young, her insulin sensitivity is still little.
Right. And so for a 10 milliliter vial,
This is the lifeblood of our daughter. This is 330, sorry, block your face, Heath. This, are we focusing? Yes.
there you go.
Ma'am, this, you guys, look at how little this is. This is $332. If you break one of these, we haven't yet, but I'm knocking on wood. Nothing. We use about a bottle and a half of these every 30 days, which makes it about $430 for 30 days.
Yeah, for us, it's like a 22 or like 25 day supply for one bottle. So yeah, we end up using like a bottle, quarter, bottle.
Or a
and
bottle,
half.
yeah, bottle quarter.
One tip I want to give you guys is if it ends up, there was a couple months where it literally came down to I filled her last Omnipod with the rest of the insulin, and then we were out of it, and it was like on the weekend, and so we had to wait till like Monday or Tuesday to get the next bottle, like it like lined up perfectly, but it was like way too close. So one pointer is to go talk to if you're having that trouble and you're not getting your insulin enough,
Yeah.
talk to your provider and just say, hey, can you put in a new prescription that says instead of like for every 25 days I need 10 milliliters, say for every 15 days I need 10 milliliters. That way you always have a stockpile.
Enough, yeah. You never want to run out of that.
Anybody that knows it's type 1 diabetic or as a kid type 1 diabetic, insulin, everybody refers to as liquid gold.
It
Stuff
is
valuable.
It's like breast milk, that's what they call it. Liquid
Yeah,
gold.
that's right.
All right, test strips.
Yep. So no matter what brand you get, every test strip brand comes with 50 in a little container like that. Like the size of an old camera film case.
That's exactly what it is.
And so for a 3-month supply, most people is like 250 test strips. That's normally like a 3-month supply. Or sorry, yeah, that's a 3-month supply for most
250?
people. Yeah, I think that's what we used to get, and that's like $400 for a 3-month
So
supply
basically,
of
there's
test strips.
2 of these boxes that come in here. You guys, this is like a little computer chip. So like when we first bought these, I was like, these are how much? Like, are you kidding me? How much?
400 roughly, depending
Roughly,
on the brand.
it depends on the brand. These are for the Omnipod, roughly $400 just for these strips.
Yep.
So right now, for the month, we are at $830.
Yep, the Omnipods.
Which is, I didn't bring the pod.
Okay, so you guys have
know
seen the
you
pods
heard,
on the
yeah,
videos.
on the videos.
Go on her
you've seen.
leg or arm or whatever. We fill them with insulin.
That gives her the insulin, yep.
Yep. The Omnipod cost is roughly $30 per pod. We change them out every 3 days. So we need 10 pods every month. So that's $300 per month just for her Omnipods. So now we are at $1,150 so far for the month. The PDM itself, which I know is just a one-time cost, this is what you control.
This.
Yep. This is what you control the Omnipod with when you need a doser or anything. That is an $800 cost, just a one-time cost. The nice thing is they always have a program available, and the program we did, it's like if you switch from another pump, you only pay like $199, basically $200 for the pod.
Right.
Or for the PDM, I'm sorry, and then you have to order the Omnipods through your insurance.
We won't calculate this into our monthly, but we just wanted to let you guys know. Yeah, we only paid $200 for this. That is actually why we ended up switching, because we didn't want to like have that, you know, your insurance can only cover so many, they don't cover that many pumps in a year. So switching to this was a lifesaver. You can find it online. You can call on their website. They have like their sales reps that you can talk to. We can leave a link below too, but yeah, it's a good.
Most of the time your provider who you go to for your son or daughter's appointment.
Yeah, they know.
They'll have a local rep that they work with. And check what state you live in, because actually Minnesota was one state that they didn't have this deal going on, but you used to be able to buy like a 3-month supply of pods and get the PDM for free. But Minnesota was one of like 2 or 3 states in the U.S. that didn't have that deal. That's why we have
Come on,
200.
Minnesota.
But still, 200 is cheap compared to 800.
No, oh yeah.
So we were still at like $11.50 because we're not going to include the PDM because it's a one-time cost. The Dexcom is the next cost. If you're using a continuous glucose monitor like the Dexcom or the Medtronic Guardian we used to be on, the sensor on the Dexcom G6 gets changed out every 10 days. And the sensors are $350 monthly. So that's 3 sensors since they're changed out every 10 days. 30-day supply, $350. So now we are at $1,500 total per month. The receiver, which is only a one-time cost, like the PDM for Omnipod.
Which is this, or this is what comes with it.
If you don't have a smartphone for your child or whatnot, we finally got an Omnipod or an iPod for her. Too many pod names. An iPod for her, so obviously that's not a cost. And if you already have one, you can probably buy the kit without the receiver. But yes, the receiver one-time fee is normally about $350, $365, and that's just a one-time thing unless you break it.
We won't add that into.
So the transmitter, which is the actual part that we take off, put on the new sensor once we install the new sensor every 10 days, that lasts 3 months. And so for one sensor for like a 3-month wear time is $240. Normally you buy it in a pack of 2. Which is $475 for 2 transmitters.
So if this was January 1, we would add that in. So we can add that in.
So we would add that in on January 1. If you call it a 1-month supply, we're at $240. So add that to the $1,500, we're like $1,750. Basically, to be able to tell where her blood sugar's at, to be able to dose her, to be able to put different, to pump on the Omnipod.
And this is
1 month.
1 month. This is obviously different for everyone. Not everyone has sensors. Not everyone has a pod. Some people get shots. That's what we started with. Yep. But it's what we prefer and what we're very comfortable with. Okay. I wrote down things that you don't think of as a type 1 diabetic, but if this was the beginning of the year again and we are just starting off, we need alcohol pads, which for a box, we buy all of these on Amazon. I will leave the links below. Alcohol pads, $4 a box. Ethan's handwriting's really scuzzy. $4 a box for a month, but alcohol pads are a necessity in our lives. Unisolve pads, those are $14 a box, right? They are. I looked it up.
Yeah, you're the one that orders
the Unisolve. This is the stuff that gets that gunky tape off of her belly, which you guys told us about, and we love it. It's actually a company Ethan used to work for. So that's $14 a month. Keep this adding in your head. Okay. So Skin Tack is $15 a box, and that lasts about 3 months. So this isn't necessarily a monthly fee, but it helps it to stay sticky longer, like the tape on her skin to stay on her skin longer. Yeah, because literally with baths and pools and all of that, that stuff starts to peel so easy.
If you literally get that stuff on your fingers and stuff,
oh my gosh.
And you just touch anything, it sticks to your hands.
You know what it reminds me of? Christmas Vacation, where he's like, everything's stuck to him.
Tree sap. Yeah, it's literally just like pine tree
and
sap.
He's like touching everything, and he's like, that's exactly. Yeah, don't do it. Okay, the next thing is juice. So this is a monthly fee for sure. Yeah. We on Amazon get a box. It's like a big box. There's 8 in a pack, and we get 5 packs. So it's 40 juice boxes, and that is about $23. The next is, this changes. It used to be Airheads, now it's Skittles, but this is her low snack of choice. Skittles, $12 for 50 gram packs. So they're just the little fun size packs.
I think you said 50 gram, but 15 gram. Sorry,
15 gram packs. Smarties is $19 for a 3-pound box of Smarties. Yep. And the last but not least thing, the Glucagon Pen, which you have to get a new one every single year. These expire.
1 year shelf life.
1 year shelf life. I can kind of show you guys what it looks like. This is something that you use if she, I don't even like talking about it. If she goes so low, she passes out.
Yeah.
This is basically like a burst of sugar.
It's like an EpiPen for people that
are
have
diabetics.
severe allergies.
Yeah, but it's like an EpiPen for diabetics. So
Right.
basically you shoot all this in to here, and then you shake it up, and then you suck it back in. And I have to say it because sometimes I feel like in a really panicky situation, I don't know if I would do it.
Luckily they have pretty simple.
Oh look, they have, I don't know if you guys can see it, but oh, there we go. They have directions. But this itself, this one pen, is $350. Every year we have to buy a new one, so
2 of them.
2.
Because we gotta have one at school for Nevaeh, and
Yeah.
we gotta have one at home.
We have one at school, one at home.
So that's $700 a year.
These are $350, so that's $700 right at the beginning of the year. So we will talk about that and we will add that. So our grand total for the whole month of a 30-day supply of a type 1 diabetic is...
We are looking at, it was like $1,750 just for the day-to-day stuff that we need for her. The Glucagon pens add another $700 on there right away in the beginning of January, so we're looking at about $2,400, $2,500. And all the ancillary things that Courtney talked about, the alcohol pads, skin prep, juice boxes, Skittles, that's like another $50 a month. So we are looking at like still around like $2,500 total right away in January.
Yeah, what? Grayson wanted to join us. We will minus out this for 1 month because you only buy this once a year. You only buy this once a year, so you don't have to add it you don't have to add it monthly. So let's minus out $700. So really monthly, what you're looking at besides, yeah, is
really monthly we're looking at $1,800.
$1,800 a month for type 1 diabetes.
Yep.
Survival.
Most systems are roughly around the same, give or take a couple hundred. We used to use a Medtronic and a Guardian sensor, but it's all roughly the same.
Yeah.
You're looking at spending at least $1,500 to $2,000 every month if you have like a high HSA plan.
Yeah.
So even if you had a PPO plan and it was covered at 80%,
Okay.
and it's covering at 80% right in the beginning of the year, and you're paying higher premiums, you're still looking at like $400 a month to pay for your...
And then you have to, I mean, that's like for 12 months.
Yeah, so if you are trying to make a decision between the two, the main difference is whether you want to pay $400 a month over 12 months, you're going to pay $4,800. Or if you want to pay that $4,800 right in the beginning of the year, and then have everything covered after that. Or less, depending on what your deductible is.
Right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or anything, please leave them in the comments below. I'll answer as many as I can. Actually, I answer all the questions, so you guys just comment below and let us know if there's anything else you want to see. I know a lot of you are interested in this sort of stuff. We are going to be doing a cabinet, what's in our diabetes cabinet soon. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed our video. Give it a thumbs up if you like it, and we'll see you in our next one. Bye.